All right, everybody. So excited to be with you today. Hopefully, you're playing some hooky from work or having a late lunch, and you're going to really enjoy yourself if you're a passionate tennis player, which we know you are. Right here below me, I got Alex Corretja, the man, former number 2 in the world. I was watching you the other day on YouTube, Alex, taking out Rafa, the king of clay, just third set, no problem. And that's what we're going to talk about. Over here to know this side is Guy, my friend Guy, who puts together all these amazing trips. We're going to be talking about how we can go train with Alex and be in Spain and be at Rafa's Academy. It's amazing. And then down there, it's hard for me to figure that we got the legend Steve Cantardi. So Alex, first of all, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for doing this with us.
Hey, yeah, thank you. It's a pleasure, and yeah, it's a good start to say that I beat Rafa. It's I always give you like good vibes, just to feel like like I don't know how many years ago, but it's always funny because sometimes they say, he was very little, he was a teenager. I said, yeah, but listen, he beat Costa the week before in Monte Carlo, and he beat Moya the week after in Hamburg, so he was good already. But I wish I could just lost to Rafa both times I played against him and maybe the 10% of his titles. So that's a souvenir for me that I beat him. But I mean, I'm nothing close to Rafa, I would say.
Well, you were certainly an amazing player. It seems like all the great players kind of diminished, how good they were. And that's kind of what I want to talk about, though, is right now you do lots of coverage of tennis and Eurosport. Almost every time I'm watching a tournament over there in Europe, you are on the court interviewing all these amazing players. So you're seeing them close up week in, week out. And so going back to that match where you're playing Rafa, you're seeing him come up, you kind of see what was there. What do you think is different about today's game? And what do you think is kind of the same? Do you notice, what are the differences that you notice that really stand out to you?
Well, I feel definitely everybody knows that the intensity, I mean, the speed of the ball, it goes much faster. The players, they hit much harder, much more power. They're stronger. They're taller as well, most of them. And definitely, maybe it's a little bit less tactics than before, because when you have more power, it's difficult because sometimes you can play a little bit like 1 or 2 shots. So you don't need to create the whole game to win the point. But in my opinion, and that's of course my opinion, I feel like consistency is still more important than power. Why? Because when you play long rallies and when you play like if such a big courts, you need to play endurance. You can get the example of last US Open final between Medvedev and Djokovic. I don't think whoever hits the ball harder. I think Djokovic won because he was more consistent, because he was mentally stronger, because physically he was surviving the big battle, and because tactically he knew how to play. So even if many coaches and many players, they feel like, we need to hit harder and harder and harder. Yes, you need to hit as hard as you can with control. But at the same time, if you're not capable to get your mind on place and know how you need to play at the right moments, this is the things that I feel is still the same from our times. You need to know that at 4-all, 30-all, second serve from the opponent, maybe it's enough if you put the ball in the other side of the court because he's got the problem. While many players, I see them and they got to go for a big shot thinking, I need to go for this shot. When many times it's no need, or it's like, I don't know, break point or whatever. Yeah, you can go for the winner. But if you we said in Spanish, you get the hot potato and put it on the other side of the table. I mean, just show me how good you are to win this special moment at 4-all in the fifth in the quarterfinals of a slam. So this is how I see a little bit the similarities are these ones. Probably, I would say everybody hits much harder, which not always it has to be as effective.
Good stuff. Yeah. We have some people on. Christopher, who follows a lot of our live streams, says, agree, consistency trumps power. Let's try to sell that to the average club player, though. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Jay says, greetings from Winston-Salem. Can't wait. So as you guys come on in, say hello, say where you're from. We're talking to Alex Corretja, former number 2 in the world. We're talking about what is different in when Alex played, what's the same, all that kind of good stuff. That was an amazing answer. So when you look at, you said one thing you said is they hit the ball much harder. So if you were to compete in today's game, what would you need to change to hit much harder? Would you need to change your would your technique be different, or would you figure out a way to be stronger? Like, why do they hit harder today than they used to?
Well, I think it's a combination. I mean, it's human nature that everybody's bigger, you know, in a way, everybody's growing a little bit taller, you know. They take care a little bit more of especially the nutrition and all diets and all this stuff. We used to take care a lot about physical condition, yes, but maybe we were not that precise in the whole about the food and all this stuff. We started pretty much, but now I think I would need to be, I mean, maybe probably a bit stronger on my chest, on my arms, not being like a Robocop that you can't move, but just try to hit as hard as you can with control. You know, like I always try to recommend people to hit hard, but always move your wrist, you know, because then you give power, you give a little bit of a spin, but at the same time, you are secure that you're not going to miss every shot. Because if you hit very flat, it might go very good for 1, 2, 3 shots. But how are you going to hit that ball when it's a very important moment? That's not that easy, because you don't give any room to put the ball, like, let's say, like, I don't know, half meter from the line. You don't need to hit the line. You don't need to hit the target on the corner of the court. Those shots that they go there, they come like from magic. But if you are stable and you don't miss too many balls and you play at the right places, at the end, it's going to be very difficult to beat you, especially if it's on clay or slow hard courts or a normal hard court, let's say. There are like very little, very fast courts these days where the players, they just go and hit serves. Everybody returns very well and everybody serves very well, but we don't have a specific servers like we used to have, let's say, Pete Sampras, or let's say Boris Becker or Michael Stich, you know, Goran Ivanisevic, Richard Krajicek. Those guys are different now. Everybody serves well, but I'm not that sure that we have like specific servers. We have some, but not. I don't think they're not as concrete as before. Also because everybody returns a little bit better.
Wow, man, these are amazing answers. We have Charles, who actually was on one of our trips. He came with us to, was he at Paris? Is that where he was?
Yes.
Yeah.
Paris. That's right. It was great to see Charles there. And then we have a really good question. And then I'm going to have Guy and Steve ask the next question after we get another member question here. How about rackets and string technology? Did you see that starting to change as you were towards the later part of your career? And how much has it even changed since when you stopped playing on the tour?
Yeah, it did change, of course. I mean, we used to have different rackets, maybe thinner rackets, maybe the strings, they were not as powerful, but they were good already. They were very good. I mean, we are talking, I was playing like beginning of 2000, 2003, 2004. I stopped at 2005 maybe. So it's not like I played in the 60s, even if I look very old, because I have so many break points to save and my hair is very great. Yeah, you know, it's like if, I don't know if you guys play any golf, but if you play golf, you have the clubs, and we used to have some clubs that they used to be quite good, but now they are like unbelievable. So everything improves, and cars are the same. Everything is the same in life. So it's not just tennis. That's what I believe, that everything improves so much, but you adjust to the situation. You know, if I would live in the 2024 and I would be a professional tennis player, maybe I will know that maybe my serve has to be a little bit more precise, or my forehand has to be a little bit harder instead of with that many topspin. You know, I wish I could have Ferrero's forehand or Carlos Moya's forehand or Corretja or Fernando Gonzalez, but I didn't. So I needed to create a game where my tactics were more important. You know, I needed to play like a chess game where I need to put the pieces of the puzzle together in one side and the other side, and then mentally feel like I'm much stronger than my opponents. And also physically, you know, I never felt that I could give up, because if not, it's not like I'm going to hit 20 aces. You know, I need to put the ball on the side and then go to the corner and then try to come to the net, maybe some slice, maybe some drop just to break the rhythm, you know. So this is what I think now, whoever does that, also still winning, you know, like Feliciano Lopez, for sure you know him. He's been playing till he was 40, and his backhand was a slice all the time. He was unbelievable lefty, huge serve. But he was creating so many problems because everybody hits the backhand two-handed now, like very flat. Forehand, a little bit, they move the wrist, but not that much. They hit very hard, but like they hit like 3, 4, 5 shots, and they are like, oh, I got to win the point. And then you have guys like, let's say, Schwartzman or Carreño or Bautista, that they're hanging in there, hustling and saying, okay, let's play, let's be patient, and let's see who's going to last longer. You know, sorry, if I'm too long with my answers, let me know and I will be shorter.
First of all, I can tell you that I love your answers. I know these guys love your answers, and I know the people listening love your answers. This is what we love. We love to hear these nuggets from you legends. It is just fantastic. I am having such a great time. Guy, do you have a question for Alex?
Yeah, just came up to my mind. Alex, who will you compare your game to nowadays player?
Well, it's a good question because I used to play one-handed backhand, which we don't have that many one-handed backhands these days. Of course, if you see some guys like, let's say, Lorenzo Musetti, the Italian, you see that he's got a great forehand, good serve, nice one-handed backhand. You know, of course, you have the old-fashioned like Babrinka, Dominic Thiem, and Gasquet. But if I could say, I'm not saying I'm as good as him because for sure he might be way better than me, but maybe Stefano Tsitsipas, I feel like he's more aggressive than me. He's got a better serve. He's got a better forehand. I personally feel, with all the humility of the world, that I think I have a better backhand that he has in the past. Of course, not now because I don't hit the backhand good anymore. But because I think I had a combination of slicing, I could just go down the line harder. And I was very consistent with my backhand. Well, I will see like Stefano, sometimes he struggles a little bit, and the players, they know that. When you play one-handed backhand up high to the backhand, you struggle because the position here of your shoulder is not as simple as if you are here looking, moving forward. So when I see Tsitsipas playing, sometimes I feel like, I see myself a little bit, but then I feel like he's, as I said before, more aggressive than me. And when he's inside, let's say inside the baseline, he is very good. When he gets the control there, he's unbelievable. He suffers when he's 1 meter or 2 meters behind the baseline. While me, as a Spanish player, I wasn't that worried because I was used to run a lot and practice from side to side. And these days also, and let me tell you, the many guys, they get confused about quantity versus quality, because you say like, okay, I don't want to burn myself. I don't want to practice 3-4 hours because injury prevention, whatever. But at the same time, when you play tournaments, especially best of 5, you need to be there 3 or 4 hours in the first round already, in the second round. And you are only in the third round, which is, okay, it's not nothing, but it's nothing, especially if you want to play well in the slam. And they're toast already because they used to play 1.5 hours or 1 hour 45, and they say, I don't want to practice anymore because, it's better quality than quantity. Guys, you need to find a balance. You need to play quantity, or you need to play, quantity, but at the same time, quality, That's what I feel in the past. We knew that we needed to be there so long there. And that comes a little bit with society. Everything is for now. It's for, I want to see this video now. I have my phone here, and I want to have sushi tonight, and I just order Uber Eats in 5 minutes. Oh, 10 minutes? Are you serious? 10 minutes to my sushi come home? Jesus, that's so bad. I'm going to go to delivery because it's going to be 7 minutes. And this is what's happening in tennis. Society goes at the same direction. So that's why I feel like when you see guys very consistent, very solid, very serious, that they are willing to spend time on court and off court, they have a future.
Wow, that is great stuff. Steve, do you have a question?
I do have a question. It appears that one of the big things now is the role of the coach. And how does the role of the coach today compared to the role of the coach back when you were in your heyday?
Well, the role is the same because the coach, it's been always like someone very important for us. I would say, especially for the Spanish people, we are very warm and we need to be very close to our coaches. The big difference now is during the match, because as you know, now you can talk to your player. This is a huge difference. Before, it used to be your coach, yes, but then it has to be like nearly quiet, or he was telling you something from time to time. Difficult. If they say a word and they hear you, they might get a warning. If they do a sign, whatever. So what I feel now, it's like the players, they don't take their own decisions all the time, which is a little bit, let's say, weird for us that we come from the past. Sometimes I miss like the guy decides for his own. I don't like the coaches to talk every point, but it's allowed to do that. So it's fair enough that they do it. So I don't complain about that, but I wish they could take the decisions. But in another hand, I like that the coach is allowed to be a little bit freely to say, come on, be more aggressive, stay back in the return, just quickly. Because if not, you know what happened, that in the past, we used to have chair umpires, that they were more like a policeman than a chair umpire, because they were looking at your coach, and if they do a sign, well, remember what happened in the US Open with Patrick Mouratoglou and Serena Williams, because she went like this, she got a warning. Serena went, nuts because she didn't understand what was going on, and it was just because it was that. It's like, just stay a little bit closer in the baseline or whatever in the return. So I felt like you needed to flexibilize a little bit this, but I don't want the players to get used to like the coaches. They talk every single point. Go out wide, stay in the baseline, hit harder, go to his forehand. No, 2-1, back down the line, because then I think they're losing a little bit their own imagination.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Good answer. Yeah.
I have a question from one of our people watching, Charles, London calling. He says, I am a different player in practice than the match. I mean, can pros relate to this, or was that just something that you guys didn't really have to deal with because you were elite players? But a lot of recreational players, in fact, most recreational players say, man, when I play in practice, I feel pretty good. I play in a match, I can't hit a shot. I mean, do you experience any of that, or do you have any good advice?
No, Charles, that happens to many players. We used to call some of the players champions of the practices. So we say like, oh, if you lose to this guy 6-4 in practice, that means that you are playing unbelievable, because they play so freely and they're so relaxed that you feel like it's no chance that you're going to do that during a match. It's not going to be, as I told you before, and if someone was at the beginning, like 4-all, 30-all, I'm not going to go second serve and volley just because I'm so good that I feel like I'm going to do this. This is so difficult. So if I would have to give you a tip, I would say I was always trying to be exactly the same when I was practicing than I was playing match. So if I'm practicing in a tennis court where there's no one watching, and I feel like it's 5-4 break point, and I feel like I'm going to stand back like 2 meters behind the baseline, and I'm going to play up high with topspin to make my opponent get backwards, I'm going to do that. If then I'm playing a match, I'm going to do the same. It's not like, because it's a practice, I'm going to just practice and try and hit a winner. No, because then it happens what it happens, that when the match comes, you really don't know what you need to do. So if you do a routine during practices, you need to do that routine during matches. Why professionals, they do routines? Because when it's an important moment, you know how to deal with that moment, because if let's say you bounce twice at 15-all and then you go for a serve. If at 30-all you bounce 10 times and at break point you bounce it 15 times, there is something that is not normal, So try to do the same. Why they say, the good players, they serve better in the important moments. No, they don't serve better. They serve the same as they were serving before. So if I toss the ball, let's say 1 meter in front of my front head during the serve at 30-all, if it's break point, I got to do the same. And that's what Pete Sampras used to do, Roger Federer, they toss the ball exactly in the same place. Doesn't matter what the score is. And that's why then you are so relaxed to play that moment.
Great answer. Nice. Can you think of any practice players you used to play against where you go, man, if you played like this in the tournaments, you would be a Grand Slam champion? Can you think of any specific player where you're like, they were just unreal in practice, I almost couldn't even touch them, but in the tournament it was different?
Man, there's no chance I can give you names. I mean, I would never do that against someone, like, even if you might know him or not. That would be so bad from me, because
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not anyone to judge anyone, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, and this is a little story that I shared, and even Google Corretja shared. Back in '97, I was playing unbelievable during that clay court season. I became top 10. I won in Rome, Estoril, finals in Monte Carlo. I was on fire. So I get into the Roland Garros French Open, like one of the big favorites. So the day before we started the tournament, Querten asked me to practice, and he was not too well known. He just went a challenger. He was 65 in the world. I was 6 or 7 in the world. So I practiced with him, and wow, he was ripping the ball, and he was hitting hard, aces, forehands down the line, backhands down the line. I was like, what? I was the man on that moment. I was on fire. I don't even know my record on that clay court season, but I'm telling you, I was unbelievable good. And I got, I don't know if you said it in English, like smashed or smoked by Huerten. You're like destroyed. And I talked to him after the practice. I shook his hand. I said, Guga, man, I never practiced against you, but if you play like this, you can really win the whole thing.
Wow.
And he looked at me and he said, like, what? And I said, yeah. And I was a player. I mean, I was one of the main favorites. And I was telling my opponent, you can beat me or you can beat everybody. So he looked at me and he went like, wow, this is unbelievable. Thank you for this. I lost in 4th round. It was like such a windy day. It was awful day. I lost to the Wolf. He was better than me. I couldn't control the whole situation, whatever. And Guga won the tournament. He won the tournament. He believed in himself. So I felt, when you play someone, you feel like, wow, this guy is unbelievable. I felt it with Federer. I played against him. With Rafa, when I played against, I felt like they had something different. The speed, the way they decide moments, the way when the ball is short, the way they hit it, the way they look at you, the way they walk next to you when you go around the net post. There are lots of things that you feel that it's no chance that a spectator can feel it. Just if you are inside, you can feel it.
Wow. Excellent stuff. Well, we know that Alex has got to run really soon. So we're going to finish with 2 questions, and then Steve and I and Guy will stay around. But Steve, do you have another follow-up question to kind of send Alex off with?
Guy or Steve?
Steve Cantari, the legend.
Okay. We're starting to see a little bit more variety coming into the game. I'm seeing guys come to the net a little bit more. Guys using some slice. I guess going back to what you talked about, not just power. Is that just me, or is that happening out there?
No, it is happening. I mean, mainly because as we've been talking, pretty much the system, men and women, they pretty much similar style of game. They hit very hard, they go for it. So what they're trying to do now is they realize that whoever does a little bit of variation, they also can damage a lot the opponents. Because even Djokovic, I mean, he's probably got the best backhand on tour, or one of the best ones, or the best return or whatever. But he plays against Medvedev in the finals of the Open, and he needs to go and slice and slow down the pace. If he plays like boom, boom, boom all the time, like Alcaraz did against Medvedev, that could be also risky. So you need to find a little bit of a balance, So that's why, for example, Alcaraz is an amazing player, because he's got all the variation. He's got the power, he's got the consistency, he's got the top spin, he's got the flat, he's coming to the net. This is unbelievable, And then you have someone like Djokovic, that he is like the perfect machine, but he's adding things, even if he's 36, That's why players now, you see that they're adding different stuff. And like Sabalenka, Coco Gauff in the finals of US Open as well. You see Sabalenka, the most powerful girl. Oh, it's unbelievable. And then Coco goes with the forehand a little bit up high. She just makes some variation, comes to the net from time to time, a little bit of pressure with the second serve, and creates problems, When you see someone hitting so hard, you're going to struggle. You need to run. But if you are capable to sustain those rhythm, those shots for, let's say, 4, 5, 6 ground strokes, they start also getting like, oh, what's going on that I don't break the wall. You know, that's why everybody's trying to do a little bit of something different now as well, because when you bring variation into the game, you in my opinion, you are the master there.
That is great. Well, we have somebody who was trained out with you, and they want you to come to Newcomb's Ranch. He saw you in Spain and
Okay,
had a great time with you on the court. But to leave this, because we are going to be going to Spain next year. We're going to train at Rafa's academy, and then we come out to Madrid and we go to the Madrid Open. We watch you interview the pros on the court, and even this year, I don't know if you're going to do it next year, but this year we even had a clinic with you. So maybe you could sign off by telling everybody, why should they come to Spain to play tennis, and what kind of can you expect when you go visit Spain?
Well, basically, I mean, tennis in Spain is huge. We have, when we leave tennis and we have it in our heart, we just have it in our veins, you know. And if you have the chance to go to a place like Rafa's Academy, I mean, you can miss that, because it's not just about a matter of playing tennis. It's about the whole thing that you understand about life, about culture, about education, about values. You know, that's what you learn in that academy. Because at the end of the day, everybody can tell you how to hit a forehand or a backhand. It's not just about that. I mean, we've been talking 20 minutes, 25 minutes, whatever, about lots of stuff that is going on in the player's mind. And I think Rafa's Academy, because Uncle Tony, you know, he grew up with Rafa. And even if Rafa, it is our greatest sport of all time in Spain, he needed to work so hard, you know, and you need to educate the players even from very little, you know. So it's not just a matter of hitting the ball and, oh, what a nice winner. No, you need to go with them into a restaurant, and you need to tell them they need to be patient to wait for their order, and they need to be grateful to the waiter, and they need to say thank you to the transportation guy, and you need to say thank you to the people that wants to take a picture with you. This is about what's going on in our culture, you know, and that's why we do appreciate the fans and the people that loves you and they take care of you, you know. And that's why I had so much fun in the clinic with these guys in Ciudad de la Raqueta in Madrid. Imagine, it's a place where they have like, I don't know, 40 tennis courts, 40 paddle courts, swimming pools, gyms, whatever, because we spend time together. And I'm trying to tell them not just how to hit the forehand or not forehand. It's not just, listen, hold the racket however you can. You know, at the end, I'm not going to change your grip in 5 minutes or in half an hour. But if I can make a little adjustment and then tell you how to understand the game and how how to visualize, how to improve your game, I think you will improve much more than hitting 100 balls per hour.
This was great. Well, guys, I put the link in the chat there to go to Bonjour Tennis Fantasies if you want to join us. Alex, I know you got to run. We'll hang on and just wrap up with the people here on the live stream. But I wanted to thank you for your time. We are grateful. We are grateful and humble. Us obnoxious Americans. We are grateful, right, Steve? But we appreciate it. Guy, anything you want to say to your buddy before we let him go?
No, thanks so much, Alex, for your time. Once again, I know you're so busy with so many things. TVs, we see Alex all over the social media and TVs here in Europe. And we are going to be with Alex in Madrid in 2024 in a morning clinic. Come and see us, and you will have a super time with Alex. He's an unbelievable guy, unbelievable player, and we learn a lot from him as we learned today. Last year's clinic went so well with Alex at Ciudad de la Raqueta in Madrid. I could tell like 20 guys was around Alex listening to him like a president, you know. So come and see what he has to tell you and teach you. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you so much. Well, it's a pleasure, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you soon in Madrid or wherever we meet. And definitely, yeah, I'm telling you, if you want to come, for sure we're gonna have nice time. We can learn from each other, you know, because of course I always learn also from the people that come around to us. And I will try to give you as much as I know, you know, and just sharing, you know. I think part of life is sharing your experience, you know. It's what I lived in, you know, in the back days, you know, where you know, these days I do like pep talks for like corporate or whatever. And I'm amazed now how similarities we have with tennis and corporate, and companies where you work as a team, you have a team behind you. You need to deal with a lot of things. It's not just how good he plays tennis. I'm gonna tell you what. Who cares if you play good tennis? You need to be first good person, and then it is unbelievable if you can play good tennis. That's unbelievable. That you're not talking to me today because I played good tennis. You're talking to me because at the end we have a good connection with Steve, with you, of course, with you as well. And then it's wow, unbelievable. And then you play also good tennis. That's good news, because at the end of the day, it's then you share your emotions and your experience. So this is how they educated me, and that's how I'm gonna try to keep it.
Wow. Thank you. This was fantastic.
Yeah.
Beyond tennis. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
Alex.
Take care, and hope to see you
Gracias.
very soon in Madrid or
We'll
somewhere else.
we'll see
Take
you
care.
soon.
Thank
Bye,
you,
Alex.
everyone.
Bye.
Yeah.
Take care.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Well, guys, that was really special. Alex figures out a way to go. Alex, as you're starting off, people were saying how much of a hero you are. Hopefully you'll watch the replay, because I must have put up 10, 15 messages from different people saying how much they appreciated Alex Corretja and what an amazing player, obviously amazing person. That light. There you go, Keith.
Yeah.
So what we're going to talk about now before we tune off, guys, is I don't know if you saw, I put, and I'm going to put it again, the website, Bonjour Tennis Fantasies, to where you can train with Alex next year. You can go to Rafa's Academy. You can go to the Madrid Open, which is amazing. It's really good. Guy's the one who puts this all together. So tell everybody how you put this together and what the experience is like.
Well, that's the second year we're going to do this trip with you, Pete, and Steve. And we had a group of 30, 32 players, I think, last year at the Rafa Nadal Academy and in Madrid. So we are staying 8 nights in Spain. You will be spending 4 nights at the Rafa Nadal Academy. You will be training for 12 hours at the academy at least. I think if I'm correct, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
You might see Rafa. Last year, Rafa was injured. He was undecided if he was going to play the French Open. And we saw him practicing. Some of the people who come with us had the chance to cross him at the academy and take a picture with him. So we're going to have also some activities for the non-tennis players. A lot of people are coming with the wife or with their husband that they don't play tennis. Please come with us. You're going to discover the fabulous island of Mallorca where Rafa grew up. We're going to have a boat cruise, a couple of restaurants, some tours in the city of Palma. Then we will head to Madrid. We'll fly to Madrid from Palma de Mallorca, which is a very short flight. I think it's about 40 minutes. We're going to go to Madrid, with one of my actually favorite capital city in Europe. Such a cool city, amazing weather, beginning of May. We're going to go watch 3 sessions at the Madrid Open. Madrid Open is a Master 1000. So last year we had a lot of great players. I think we had a chance to watch Alcaraz in the semi-final against Struff. We watched also Tsitsipas. We watched the women final, Sabalenka, Swiatek. We will be sitting in premium seat this year, different than last year. It's like the 2 first rows right behind the boxes. We will have access to a catering area, and you will have also some visits in Madrid and a couple of surprises. Everything is 5-star. We'll stay in a 5-star hotel in Madrid, right in the city center, and you're really gonna feel this vibe. And as we talked earlier, Alex Corretja is gonna be with us one morning in Madrid to train with us, and that was one of our favorite day actually during the whole week, right, Peter?
Oh, absolutely. He's such a nice guy and super on court. And as you can tell, when he answers questions, I mean, he gives you thoughtful answers. It's the same thing when you're on the court with him. He's not just like, mailing it in. He's out there. He's got a lot of energy. He spends time with people and really tries to help them with their game. So it's really an amazing experience.
Yeah. So we have, I think, how many spots left, Steve? Do we have like 10?
About 8 spots left.
8 spots left. Okay.
Right. Yeah, 8 spots
so it's gonna be
left.
From the 28th of April to the 6th of May.
6th of May.
2024, right?
Yeah. Guys, I'm going to take over the screen for a second just so I can show them the website so they can kind of see it. So this is it. If you go to Bonjour Tennis Fantasies, is it .com or .net?
.com.
.com. Yep. Then you see it. There's a Spanish experience. Those people there, those are the ones. Look how great seats they are. And I guess we're getting even better seats this year. That's kind of crazy when he said that. I'm like,
seats,
what?
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Our seats were amazing last year. I mean, there they are. And those people right there are the lucky campers who went. And then if you go down here, you can see Rafa's Academy. And then there's an amazing video. Watch this video. It's really, really awesome. And then you can see everything we're doing. And like he's saying, everything is 5-star, from the wine tours to the restaurants to the hotels to the tennis. Look at that Rafa Academy right there. How cool is that? I remember driving in there.
I tell you, you walk in there, you just get a feeling. It's far more than an academy. It's just a whole culture, and you just get tingles all over you.
Oh, it is awesome. And when I was driving in and seeing that logo there, I got chills. I mean, look at that. You're like, we are in the Rafa house. And like Guy said, we got to see Rafa practice. He actually was hitting the crap out of the ball. I'm surprised he wasn't able to pull it together. So there you go, guys. You can go to Bonjour Tennis Fantasies. I think a deposit of just like $1,000 gets you going. So, but anyway, yeah, it was great time today. I'm gonna exit the solo layout, come back to you guys. Charles already says he's gonna try and make it. He hopes to make it. What is the cost, Steve? If you go through the cost with people, so they know.
The cost, there are early pay discounts. The cost is in the neighborhood of $10,000. Like you said, $1,000 will hold your spot, and then there is a 5% discount for paying early. Obviously, the rate goes down if you are sharing a room with another tennis player. And also, one of the points that Guy made was, we have a very nice appropriation for a non-tennis playing guest. So if you bring your husband or you bring your wife who's not a player, Guy has lined up some fabulous things for them to do, and of course we've priced it right for the non-player as well. So it's a very attractive package for a tennis player, and for a tennis player to take his non-playing spouse or partner. It's very attractive, and obviously two tennis players that are sharing a room get a discount price as well. So it's an attractive price with discounts available.
Awesome.
And I would say that this year in 2024 will be quite special. Something I wanted to ask Alex, but I don't know if you're following Rafa on the social media, but today he posted a video of him hitting forehands and backhands at the Rafa Nadal Academy. So he's getting ready to come back. We know he wants to play the French Open, Roland Garros. We know also that Madrid is one of his favorite tournaments. Rafa is a big Real Madrid fan for the football fan here, soccer fans. So we assume that he will probably play the Madrid Open if he is in shape. Tournament that he didn't play last year. So it could be, I don't know, I don't have the answer either, but it could be a chance to see Rafa. Hopefully we don't see him at the academy this year, but we'll see him at the tournament. So
I agree. I mean, if he's healthy, he'll want to play that tournament. When he's healthy, he always plays it, and I'm sure he'll play it if he's healthy. But that's the big if. But it would be pretty awesome. So I
hope we're gonna see him.
That'd be amazing. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. Any last words you'd like to say, Steve? We'll let the legend kind of sign us out of here.
Well, certainly, number one, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for sharing the passion that we all have for tennis. It is just such a fabulous game, and we are very privileged to be able to offer these very special and unique tennis experiences. and we love getting to meet you. We love seeing everybody just enjoy the tennis and enjoy the social part of the tennis. Tennis is all about people and culture and whatnot. So it's been a real privilege to be able to do these trips, and we'd love to invite you to come along with us. I know you're going to have a good time, and I know you're going to come back from the trip saying, "Wow, tennis really, truly is the sport of a lifetime and the sport for everybody."
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for
Thank
joining
you.
me today.
Thanks,
Thanks
Steve.
everybody
Thanks,
out
guys.
there.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.
I see you, Maida. You got to run, but you love what we're doing. Keep the talks going. We'll definitely do that. If you guys have not picked up your free ticket to TennisCon 7 yet, make sure you go to tenniscon7.com, sign up, and we'll see you guys on the next one.